Being the oldest child is like being a free babysitter, a survival coach, and a diplomat all rolled into one. Sounds impressive, but in reality, it just means you're always asked to help or to give in and to set an example. Oldest children in the family are always considered special, just not in the way they think. Because most of the time, they're the first test subject for their parents and free insurance for their younger siblings. And that's exactly why we, the younger ones, owe them so much. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you end up enjoying this video. Parents always see the oldest child in a special way. They're supposed to be the helper. The phrase "you're already grown up" starts getting thrown around at about 6 years old. Responsibility shows up much earlier than the right to freedom. By the age of 8, parents are convinced the oldest child could easily run a department at an office without a paycheck. Oldest children in the family have a special job, the third parent. Babysitting comes as part of the package. Play with him, watch him while I cook, and make sure he doesn't do anything silly. And the most interesting part is the oldest is judged through the younger ones. If the younger kid messes something up, of course the oldest is first to blame. The logic is simple. The younger one is too small to be responsible, while oldest one already grown up, even if they're only 9 years old. Oldest children in the family always get the strictest rules. They hear things like, "Don't you dare," "No going out late," or "You must obey." Meanwhile, the younger ones get a special approach because they're just little. And that's when the big question appears. Why is he allowed, but I'm not? Of course, there's no real answer, just the quiet parental line. You'll understand when you're older. Oldest kids in the family are like icebreakers. They're the first to crash into the bands, the tests, and all the rules. And the younger ones just sail smoothly through the path that's already been cleared. Sometimes even with a level of freedom the oldest could only dream about as a child. Oldest kids always get hit with the same pressure. You have to set an example, as if the firstborn came into this world with a teaching degree and the wisdom of a life coach. But in reality, the oldest is just a kid too, with their own mistakes, moods, and silly ideas. Sometimes the example they set is more like a guidebook on how not to do things. And the younger ones sit nearby, watching, thinking, "Yep, better not repeat that." So yes, the oldest is still an example, just not always the one the parents had in mind. But being the oldest does have its perks. They grow up faster, they learn responsibility and independence early on. They're the first to go through all of the parents' experiments, the ones mom and dad practice parenting on. But that's exactly what toughens them up. Oldest kids gain unique skills, the ability to negotiate, to lead, to be a diplomat in any situation. Sometimes it almost feels like a superpower. As adults, oldest children often turn out more independent and confident. So being the first in the family isn't just about challenges. It also comes with a pretty solid bonus package. But there's also the other side. Oldest kids often feel underappreciated. Most of the parents' attention goes to the younger ones. They need more hugs, more care. Meanwhile, for the oldest, it's as if everything is just supposed to work out on its own. That's where jealousy comes in. Why does he get away with more? Why is everything forgiven to him? And then there's the constant exhaustion from always being the responsible one. You're still a child, but you're always carrying some extra weight to watch, to help, to keep things under control. And sometimes the oldest just wants to be little again, but it's already too late because they're the example. In the end, being the oldest always means living a double role, both a child and almost an adult at the same time. And that's exactly what makes oldest siblings strong, wise, and usually the most caring. I myself am the youngest child, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for putting up with us. Thank you for being there. Thank you for shaping me into who I am. Ironically, you only start to realize the real connection with your older siblings when they leave home, to study, to work, or to start their own family. In a way, the youngest is someone who's had their own personal life coach since childhood. Being the oldest isn't easy, but it's thanks to you that we, the younger ones, grow up braver, happier, and more loved. So this video is for you. If you're interested, let me know in the comments, and I'll make a separate video about what it's like being the youngest. And please share your own stories too. I'd love to read them. See you in the next video.